Hey everyone, it's Kenji and we're making a chopped salad. So the trick to a chopped salad is having, well, good balance with the right kinds of ingredients. Also, I think the key to a chopped salad is you want to be able to make it ahead because it's the kind of salad I feel like, you know, you're doing all these crunchy vegetables, and I guess it's not that you want to be able to make it ahead, it's that most of the time you are able to make it ahead because you're doing these crunchy vegetables that don't really wilt as much as like a tender lettuce would. And to make that even easier, I like to use, instead of like something like romaine or iceberg, which will eventually wilt when it starts to get oil on it, I use kale, just because kale, you can dress it and leave it sitting in its dressing for like days in the refrigerator, and it'll still stay crispy. This is kale that I got from my garden. Lacinato kale. You can use any type of kale. The trick to kale before you put it in a salad is to give it a little bit of a massage with olive oil, because when it comes to greens breaking down and vegetables breaking down, the thing that causes greens to wilt and break down and soften is oil. It's not the vinegar in the dressing that does it, it's the oil. And that's because, you know, leaves are designed to let water run off of them, otherwise they would get soaked with water every time it rains. And vinegar is mostly water. It's actually the oil that can penetrate that sort of waxy cuticle that's on leaves, and that's what's going to get your leaves to soften up. And so with kale, in its raw state, it is a little bit too tough and too crispy, so you want to massage it with a little bit of olive oil and let it kind of sit so that it starts to tenderize a little bit. We have a kale chopped salad at my restaurant, where we massage the kale with olive oil and salt in the morning, and that stays in the refrigerator in the walk-in until night, which is when we actually use it. So that's one of the nice things here, is that we can dress this salad completely, and it'll still be good hours from now, so you don't have to worry about it when you're serving it at dinner. It'll still be good tomorrow. You could use it for your lunch. It'll probably even still be good by lunch or dinner the next day. All right, so I've got kale, and then the rest of my crunchy vegetables, I'm going with some red peppers here. Keep them relatively chunky. In fact, let me make them even chunkier than that first one. Oh, I don't know if I should have talked through how I was cutting that pepper in the first place. So when I cut a pepper, I get a sharp knife, you hold it upright, and you kind of fillet it. I'll show you this last piece here. You fillet it like this. Well, the last one looks a little different from the rest, but you essentially cut around it like that. That way you end up with the pith and the seeds and the top detached, and you end up with these kind of nice, pretty looking planks that are then easy to chop down further. So we got peppers. We'll do some cucumber here. This is just American cucumber. I usually peel my cucumbers when I'm putting them in salads. Although for something like a Japanese cucumber or Persian cucumber, where it's already nice and where the skin is pretty nice and tender, you don't really have to worry so much about peeling it. But for an American cucumber, or Kirby cucumber for sure. English cucumber, it's like a mixed bag. Sometimes I'll do that thing they do at salad bars where it's like you peel it in strips so that it has like the whole red-green kind of candy cane thing going. All right, so split them, take the seeds out because they're watery and nobody likes watery salad. Cut into chunks. In you go. Now, the way we do this salad at López-Alt, we actually marinate the cucumbers up to overnight, but at least similar time frame as the kale. What we'll do is in the morning we'll take the cucumbers, skin them, seed them, and then marinate them with olive oil and a little white wine vinegar. Olive oil, white wine vinegar, some shallots, and some herbs. And salt and pepper. And then, by the time the evening comes around, the cucumber is nice and flavorful. But in this case, everything's going to all happen at once inside this bowl. All right, we'll do some cherry tomatoes. With cherry tomatoes, what we do is we salt them in advance, and then they kind of sit on the line in 9 pans. There's those little metal pans that they use at restaurants. They're called 9th pans because they're the 9th of the size of a full-size sheet pan. They sit in there in 9 pans, then we pick them up with a slotted spoon so that the excess liquid drips out and doesn't get into the salad. In this case, it doesn't really matter too much. It'll make it a little bit more watery. So if you really want to, make this the best salad possible, you can salt your tomatoes in advance, let them sit, and then drain them. And then finally, here are some chickpeas. All right, so far we've got like a few different crunchy vegetables. We've got our greens, we've got some crunchy vegetables. We've got like a sort of sharp allium element, so that can be onion, it could be scallion, it could be shallot, but you want some kind of sharp oniony thing, and then some kind of proteinish thing. So that could be, well, in this case, it's chickpeas. These chickpeas I've also marinated. They've been sitting in here for a couple. These are just canned chickpeas. They've been sitting in here for a couple days in a mixture of sherry vinegar, olive oil, with a little bit of red onion and dill. Marinated chickpeas like that, I frequently just keep them in my fridge because they're great. They make great quick salads like this. All right, so we got chickpeas. We got our sort of protein element. You could use, chopped up chicken meat. You can use leftover fish. Sure, you can use a can of tuna. Some kind of thing that gives it a little bit of heartiness. And then finally our crunchy element. This is sunflower seeds. I like to go heavy on the crunch. So at López-Alt, our chopped salad is kale, red sauerkraut, like natural lacto-fermented sauerkraut, red onions, marinated cucumbers, marinated chickpeas, tomatoes, and then we toss it with a similar yogurt ranch to this, actually. And that's what I'm going to do here. And then we're just going to go right in with our hands. Hands are the best way to toss a salad. Clean hands. Those nuts are really, I think, what makes this salad we use toasted pumpkin seeds at López-Alt, and we were making this salad for a while, and we couldn't figure out why. It was missing something. Like, it was good, but it just wasn't like really popping. And then we were like, oh, we have these toasted pumpkin seeds we use for other things on the line. Let's try tossing them in that salad, and we did, and it was like, ooh, that's it. That is it. All right. When I do my salads, I like to try and get all the bits and pieces on top so people can see what they're getting down in there. Whew. Actually, let me taste that first. Yeah. I put this chopped salad on the menu at López-Alt because I frequently eat lunch there. And I was eating like a sausage a day or a burger a day. And I was like, if we want to really increase the lunch business, we need to make things that people can eat all the time. And if I can't even eat our own food all the time for lunch without feeling like, why am I eating 6 sausages a week? We better have something on there that people can eat every day and not feel like they can't go back to work afterwards. So that's why I put this chopped salad on there. And it sells well. It's my favorite lunch item for sure. I have it few times a week. Well, not right now because we're in quarantine, but when we're open for normal business, I have it a few times a week. There you go. Simple chopped salad. Suitable for picnics, dinner, and adventure. What else would be good in here would be some cheese. If we can't have our carbs, at least we get our cheese, right? Some like crumbled feta or cotija cheese would be great in here. All right, this is gonna be dinner tonight. Oh, and I apologize for the mess. We're remodeling the kitchen. All right, see you later, guys, gals, non-binary pals. I will see you next time.